Here's something nobody wants to admit out loud. Most people who get raises end up with nothing to show for them. Not because they blew it on something stupid, not because they made some catastrophic financial mistake, but because there is a force, quiet, polite, almost invisible, that has been following them their entire working life, and every single time they earn more, it grows with them. You never see it coming. You never feel it happening. And by the time you notice, years have passed, and the raise that was supposed to change everything changed nothing. Open your banking app right now and show me the raise. Show me where it's sitting. Show me what it built. Most people can't. Today, we're going to talk about two people, Michael and Jennifer. Same city, same general income bracket. Both got raises. Both thought this time would be different. One of them figured it out. The other one is still staring at his banking app at midnight, wondering where the money went. Let's start with Michael. Michael is 34 years old, and he is, by every normal definition, doing fine. He has a good job, he works hard, he pays his bills on time. He's not out here buying watches he can't afford or gambling on crypto at 2 in the morning. Michael is a responsible, reasonable, real person. He also has almost nothing saved, and that fact haunts him in a very specific way, quietly, in the background, like a song you can't get out of your head. He doesn't talk about it at dinner. He doesn't post about it, but at night, when it's just him and his phone and the glow of his banking app, he feels it, a low hum of panic he can never quite turn off. 3 years ago, Michael got his first real promotion. Not a small bump, a proper, meaningful raise. The kind where you call your mom. The kind where you feel like the decisions you made, the late nights, the unreasonable bosses you survived, finally paid off. He remembers sitting in his car after the meeting doing the math in his head. He was going to save more, invest more, build something real this time. And for about 2 weeks, he believed it. Then the rest of life happened. He moved apartments, nothing crazy, just a bit bigger, a bit nicer, better part of town. It made sense, he told himself. I can afford it now. He got a new car. His old one was fine, technically, but newer felt safer, and the monthly payment wasn't that much more. Barely noticeable, he said. He started eating out a bit more, better restaurants, not every night, just more often than before. He upgraded his gym, picked up a few more subscriptions, started saying yes to weekend trips because he'd been saying no for years, and he'd earned this. Each decision felt completely reasonable. Each one felt like a reward he deserved, and together they quietly, completely erased his raise. 12 months later, Michael looked at his savings and felt that familiar low hum again, louder this time. He'd earned more than ever before in his life and somehow ended up exactly where he started. He didn't understand why. He just felt like he was doing everything right and still losing. Here's what nobody told Michael. There is something called lifestyle inflation, and it is the single most effective, most socially acceptable financial trap ever created. It doesn't come at you with a loan agreement. It doesn't show up with a high interest rate or a pushy salesman. It doesn't do anything aggressive at all. It just whispers. Every time you earn more money, lifestyle inflation leans in and whispers the most dangerous sentence in personal finance. You deserve this. And the maddening thing is, it's not even lying. You do deserve nice things. You did work hard. There is nothing wrong with wanting your life to feel better as your income grows. That's exactly what makes it so effective. Lifestyle inflation doesn't attack your bad habits. It attacks your good feelings. It wraps itself around your sense of reward, your idea of progress, your very reasonable desire to enjoy the money you worked for. And then it scales with you. Every raise, it scales. Every bonus, it scales. Every promotion, it grows a little bit bigger, costs a little bit more, becomes a little more invisible, because it all just feels like normal life now. The nicer apartment stops feeling nice. It just feels like your apartment. The better car stops feeling like a reward. It just feels like your car. The restaurants, the gym, the subscriptions, they all stop producing that feeling of upgrade. They become the baseline. And now you need the next thing to feel that feeling again. Michael isn't broke. Michael is on a treadmill, running hard, going nowhere, and lifestyle inflation is the machine that keeps the speed just fast enough that he never realizes he's standing still. Let's slow down and look at some numbers, real ones, simple ones. 3 years ago, Michael's raise was worth about $600 a month extra, $7,200 a year, real, meaningful, life-changing money if you treat it right. Here's how Michael actually spent it. $200 more on rent for the nicer apartment, $150 more on his car note, $80 more on food and eating out, $60 more on his upgraded gym membership and new subscriptions, and $70 more on what Michael would loosely describe as just stuff, clothes, things, the random spending when your mental budget has a little more room. That's $560 gone from a $600 raise. He kept $40. $40 from a raise that was supposed to change his financial life. Now here's where it gets painful. If Michael had taken just half that raise, $300 a month, and put it automatically into a basic, boring index fund and never touched it, here's what would have happened over the next 10 years at average market returns. $55,000. From one raise, one decision, taken once and automated forever. And Michael never did it. So that $55,000 doesn't exist. It never got built. It got replaced by an apartment that feels normal now, a car that just feels like his car, and a gym he goes to twice a week. Over 10 years, Michael will spend somewhere in the region of $67,000 maintaining a lifestyle upgrade that stopped feeling like an upgrade within about 6 months of getting it. Let that number sit for a second. $67,000 for a feeling that lasted 6 months. That is what lifestyle inflation actually costs. Not the monthly number, which always sounds manageable, the total number over time, which almost nobody ever sits down to calculate. Michael never did that math, and nobody around him ever suggested he should. Jennifer is 36. She lives in the same city as Michael. She works in a completely different field, but her income over the last few years has followed a very similar path. Steady raises, a promotion, a bonus here and there. From the outside, Michael and Jennifer look roughly equivalent. Same kind of life, same kind of job stress, same occasional feeling that adulting is a scam. But Jennifer has one habit that Michael doesn't. It started about 4 years ago when a colleague, almost offhandedly over lunch, said something that stuck with her. Every time I get a raise, I give myself half, and I never see the other half. Jennifer didn't ask too many questions. She just went home that evening and looked it up. She learned about something called paying yourself first. She learned about automating savings before your lifestyle has a chance to adapt. She set up an automatic transfer for the day after each paycheck, moving a fixed amount straight into a separate investment account before she could see it, feel it, or spend it. It wasn't a huge amount at first. She started with $150 a month. When she got a raise, she increased it. When she got her promotion, she increased it again, but not by the full raise, by half. The other half, she let herself enjoy. New furniture, a nicer holiday, some genuine upgrades that she genuinely appreciated because she knew they were bought with the fun half and her future was already taken care of. Jennifer still goes out. Jennifer still has a nice apartment. Jennifer is not living on rice and beans and suffering in the name of compound interest. But Jennifer, at 36, has just crossed $80,000 in her investment account. Built not from a windfall, not from a rich family, not from any secret knowledge or insider information, built from one simple habit, applied consistently over about 4 years. Jennifer doesn't feel behind. Jennifer feels like she has a head start on a future that Michael is still telling himself he'll build next month. Here's the insight, and it sounds almost too simple once you hear it. Your lifestyle will always expand to fill your income. Always. It is not a character flaw. It is not a discipline problem. It is human nature. It is the way our brains are wired. We adapt to what we have, we want more, we upgrade, we adapt again. The only way to beat that cycle is to remove the money from the equation before the cycle starts. Jennifer's colleague didn't give her a complicated investing strategy. He gave her a timing strategy. He told her to move the money before her lifestyle noticed it existed. That's the whole game. It's not about how much you earn. It's about what happens in the window between when the money arrives and when your brain figures out it's there. That window is usually about 2 weeks, the time between your raise hitting your account and you quietly deciding you can now afford that nicer thing you've been thinking about. Jennifer closed that window. She automated the decision so that half the raise was already gone, already invested, already working, before she even had a chance to feel rich. Michael left that window wide open, and lifestyle inflation walked right through it, every single time. The difference between them 4 years later is not intelligence, it's not income, it's not discipline in any dramatic or painful sense. It's one automatic transfer, set up once and never canceled. Michael is 34. If he starts today, right now, this month, and invests $300 a month for the next 30 years, he will have built somewhere around $340,000 by the time he's 64. That's if he starts today. If he waits another 5 years, telling himself he'll start when things settle down, when the next raise comes through, when he has a better handle on his budget, and only invests for 25 years instead of 30, he ends up with around $220,000. He waited 5 years and lost $120,000. Not lost like he spent it on something terrible, lost like it simply never existed because he didn't make the decision in time. That is the real price of "I'll start next month." And this is what Jennifer understood intuitively that Michael is still learning the hard way. Time in the market is not a nice-to-have feature of investing. It is the entire engine. The money doesn't just grow. It grows faster the longer it sits. The first 10 years of your investment life are almost more important than the last 20 because the early money has the longest time to compound. Every month Michael waits, he is not just delaying the start, he is fundamentally reducing the total outcome. The math is not patient. It doesn't wait for anyone to feel ready. Jennifer got started before she felt ready. That's why it worked. There is no dramatic revelation here, no complicated system, no course to buy, no app to download that will somehow rewire your relationship with money overnight. There is one thing. The next time money comes in, a raise, a bonus, a tax refund, any kind of income increase, before you do anything else, before you upgrade anything, before your lifestyle even knows the money exists, you move a percentage of it automatically into a separate investment account that is not connected to your everyday spending. You set it up once, you make it automatic. You choose an amount that feels slightly uncomfortable, not painful, not unsustainable, but slightly uncomfortable. That slight discomfort is the sign that it's the right number. Then you leave it alone. You don't touch it when the car needs work. You don't touch it when your friend's wedding is in Cancun. You don't touch it because you had a bad month and you feel like you deserve a treat. You leave it alone and let it become the most boring, most reliable, most powerful thing in your financial life. Jennifer's $80,000 is not the result of genius. It is the result of boredom. She set up a system, made it invisible, and went and lived her life. Michael's flat savings account is not the result of failure. It is the result of believing that motivation and willpower and "I'll be more careful this month" were going to be enough. They are never enough for anyone. Systems beat willpower every single time. Jennifer built a system. Michael is still relying on willpower. Here's what we know. Earning more money does not automatically make you wealthier. It makes you capable of becoming wealthier, if and only if you deal with the money before lifestyle inflation does. Michael is not a cautionary tale because he's bad with money. He's a cautionary tale because he did everything society told him to do. Work hard, earn more, enjoy the fruits of your labor, without anyone ever explaining the part that comes before the enjoying. Jennifer is a success story because she's not some kind of disciplined financial superhuman. She's a success story because one person gave her one piece of advice over lunch, and she acted on it before she talked herself out of it. That advice was simply this: give yourself half and never see the other half. You don't need to be Jennifer from the very beginning. You just need to start being Jennifer from today. Open your banking app right now. Find the automatic transfer feature. Pick a number. Doesn't have to be huge, just real, and set it to move on the same day your paycheck arrives. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until the budget is cleaner. Don't wait for next month. The math is already running. The only question is whether it's running for you or against you. If nobody in your life is talking to you about this stuff, that's exactly why this channel exists. Hit subscribe, because next week we're going to talk about the number on your credit card statement that almost nobody reads, that is quietly costing most people a full month's rent every single year. Same format, same two characters, same truth that the financial industry would honestly prefer you never figured out. See you then.